Now, I was prepared to really hate this film, but I really thought it was good. All I could get from the trailers when they came out is of Kevin Hart doing this comedic performance in a remake of a film that is generally really well liked. But I can admit when I'm wrong. While this film does put in a very good attempt to remake a film as iconic as The Intouchables, like most reimaginings, it fails to resonate, especially when the original is just so flawless and a brilliant, joyous triumph. So a lot of people may already know that The Upside is a new release, and it's a remake of a film from back in 2011 called The Intouchables. The Intouchables is a French drama based on the true story of a paraplegic named Philippe. He gets a new caregiver who is a former criminal, and they develop this really lovely friendship and bond. And according to their story, that friendship still stands today. Now, I don't watch many foreign films. I was recommended this film and I decided to watch it, and I'm so glad that I did. I gave it a chance and I absolutely adored this film. So hearing that an English language remake was going to be done, it piqued my interest. And then when I learned more and more about this film and saw the trailers, I was really getting quite skeptical. Okay, I lie. I was more like, no, no, no! But in any case, I went to see this film and I tried to keep an open mind. The Upside, it ain't bad, but it's not great either. I really like Kevin Hart. I mean, in the stuff he's in, he always makes me laugh. He's always enjoyable to watch. He always brings a lot of laughter and brightness to the roles that he plays. And Bryan Cranston. I've only seen him in a couple of episodes of Malcolm in the Middle. I really know him from watching Breaking Bad, and he was so good in that. And since that, I've watched his newer works more closely, and I've realised that he is a very, very good actor. So in The Upside, Kevin Hart plays Del. He's out on parole, he's a former criminal, and he's looking for work to meet the terms of his parole. And he kind of accidentally stumbles upon this job interview. He actually goes there for a janitor job interview, but there's also interviews taking place for Bryan Cranston's carer, which he confuses for his interview, so he goes up there and waits around like everyone else. The buddy chemistry of Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston in this film is actually like really good to watch. They bounce off of each other really well. You get the opportunity to see another side of Kevin Hart in this film. He's always playing these goofy comedic characters. He's always trying to get a laugh out of you by the performances that he puts on. But in this, he's a lot more toned down. He's pulled in the reins a little bit. The funny moments are more like what we would react to as people, the sort of jokes that we would say and we'd come out with, or at least what we're thinking and we want to say, but we might not because we're worried about stepping on toes and being, PC. So Hart is far less animated in this film compared to his other roles. And Cranston's really done well as a quadriplegic, because I imagine it's really hard to do a role where you have the use of your body, but you've got to sit there completely still and you've got to learn how to react and move and express yourself just with neck and head movements and purely in the face. You can really feel that kind of aggravation coming through in certain aspects, in certain moments of this film. In terms of the delivery of the story, there's really no real difference compared to the Intouchables movie. There are a couple of plot choices and differences from the original, and some of them I find a bit questionable. Like, for example, how Hart's character Del ends up at the interview. It's through just misunderstanding, pure coincidence, by going to an interview for a different job. And also the reason that Cranston's character Philip decides to hire Del as well. There's all this stuff about DNRs, do not resuscitate orders, and him not having sympathy for the guy. It's a different approach. It's a bit more of a darker approach to him not having a certain empathy for Cranston's character, compared to the original, which feels like a bit more of a lighter note, that he doesn't treat him like a person with a disability. He kind of forgets that he's in a wheelchair at times, which kind of feels a little bit lighter and not so dramatic and dark. Of course, with differences in the story, there are also a few differences in the character and how the story plays for those people as well. And this is definitely where I feel the French Intouchables beats the English The Upside. I feel like there's a certain nuance and je ne sais quoi that you can't just kind of find in this new remake. Like I said, the upside tries to be quite serious and a little bit darker at times with talks of DNRs. And there's also this really harsh moment in a restaurant as well, which wasn't in the original, and that kind of left me feeling so... But I guess they want the audience to feel really upset and feel very badly for Cranston's character. For me, I felt like it went a bit too far to get you there. The whole point of the original film is that it was so light and nice to see these people kind of making each other better, and you're kind of being dragged in the opposite way before you're brought back to feeling good about the whole thing in the upside. The Intouchables makes you laugh with people that have a disability rather than the upside. The upside does have some of these moments, but it feels like it's doing it just for the sake of the funny. Rather than having a banter back and forth between the two lead characters, it feels like they're just sort of like sniping jokes back at one another, rather than there being this bouncing repertoire between the two. Like I've said, The Intouchables is more, in this sense, heartwarming, and the story is more uplifting, and as a result, you feel that this truly shows an upside. I did like the upside. It was a good effort. It's going to be hard for them to make something that's going to be as revered as the previous film. So like I said, this film is all right. I'm going to give it a 3 reels out of 5. Comment below on what's the deal with the reel. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe as well. If you want to see more videos, just head on over to Rusty Reels and see more of my reviews there. In the meantime, and as always, just be real.